Howdy, y'all. Thanks for being here tonight. Hold on just a second here. I got to get myself situated. Okay. Thank y'all for being here. Daryl, thank you for being here. Wingspan, thank you. Oklahoma Outlaw, thank you for being here. And that's everybody I've seen so far. Anyway, I have a few things on my mind. I've done a little, I was in the middle of a conversation, and I don't, hold on. I was in the middle of a conversation. I was having a conversation with a guy up in Utah. I hashtagged him in the description. He's a journalist out of Utah. He's covering the Charlie Kirk thing, and there was some anomalies they were trying to discuss on uh, shall we say the wound cavity. And I brought up an idea, and it was just an idea. I thought about, because there are multiple different kinds of ammunition in this world. So I thought maybe this guy used what's known as a frangible bullet. A frangible ammunition is not unheard of, but the guy has never heard of it, so he's thinking I am making up words. No, I. If you'll hold on a second here, I'm going to kill my camera. There's something I want to share here. Um, and this is just what I'm showing you here. It is a real thing. They're designed to disintegrate when you hit their targets. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm not I'm not imagining Jugglasses. Thank you for being here, bud. I'm not. He just thought I was inventing new words, and frangible ammunition has been around since before 9/11. 9/11 was kind of a part of it, but um, it was designed to be carried in the weapons, the firearms for. You used to have sky marshals that flew all over the country. That's what I'm talking about. I was just, we were just having hypothetical conversations here. Anyway, I brought up frangibles, and he thought the frangibles didn't exist. I've been around weapons my whole life. I've been around military weapons my whole life. Just the only way I can call it that way. Anyway, um, I just wanted to share that with everybody. I'm not inventing new words. I rarely jump in with a theory that can't be backed up. It's still available. You can buy it today, Oklahoma. You can buy that stuff today, but you have to special order it. The U.S. Marshals, it was originally, the only way you could get it was to be a U.S. Air Marshal. And the bullet was originally designed so that it wouldn't pierce the skin of the aircraft and it wouldn't go through the cockpit door. It was made to disintegrate on impact. It'll still do damage to the human body, but it wouldn't endanger the entire aircraft by hitting something vital. Because when it hits something solid, it just breaks up. Anyway, I recommended somebody use those. A friend of mine lives in Texas, and she can get them. And she uses a little 38 special for home defense. But she lives in an apartment building, so I suggested that she use frangibles. Frangibles actually work better for her application. It was just a suggestion. I mean, anyway, it's just a thought. Now, there is other things that have been on my radar for the last. Hey, Stephanie, thank you for being here. I hope you're feeling better. Anyway, there's a few things that are really. We're just mentioning Charlie Kirk. There's a few cliches I'd like to bring up that I've pretty much proven that aren't really just a cliche. The first one is it's all about history here. History is written by the victors. We're seeing examples of that where they've decided not to teach the story of the Tuskegee Airmen from World War II in the Air Force Academy. I'm not saying yay or nay. I'm just using that as an example. I'm glad you're back, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there, girl. Anyway, the next cliche is history does repeat itself. Those who have forgotten the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. Hello, Robert. Thank you for being here. Oh, you haven't really missed anything, just a regular rant. It's good to see you, bud. Anyway, history repeats itself. History is written by the victors. Those who've forgotten the lessons of history are doomed to repeat it. One of the things that I've been noticing, someone used the term dumbing down, the dumbing down of America. They've been dumbing us down for close to 100 years now. They don't teach us to think for ourselves. They want you to just raise your hand, be a good little robot, go out and find a job, be a wage slave, pay us for your taxes so we can tell you how to live your life or tell you what to think and what to do. The media is controlled. We've covered all of this in my past rants, but I'm seeing history repeating itself. Uh-oh. I see history repeating itself. I see the same things that my father dealt with when he was a young man. Now, y'all have to follow me real close with fatherhood here. I had three father figures. One was my mother's husband, my stepfather. Two was my biological father, my father. And three was adopted father. He's the only man I'll call dad because he treated me like a dad should treat a child. Even if I wasn't his own, he treated me with respect, kindness, and he gave me dignity. He taught me a lot of what I know today that I hold dear. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. That startled me. Thank you for putting that out there. I'm going to try and keep this where I usually do, about a half an hour. Um, but and then we see all the. Hello, Jenny. Thank you for being here. Anyway, I have somebody right outside my window too. Anyway, I see history repeating itself. My father's family left Italy at the beginning of the 20th century because they saw what was about to happen before World War I started. That was when my father emigrated to the United States, was when he was 10 years old. They wanted out of that mess before it was a mess. Because they've seen it before. It happens over and over and over again. They just color that monster with a different name every time. Some are calling it fascism again. It's, you can call it whatever you want. Vitriol, hate, bigotry, whatever you want to call it. It's the ignorance that we're forced to live with that just frustrates me the worst. Because if you value a person for what's in here and in their heart, not what their skin looks like, not from the culture they come from. I've known many different cultures in my life. I embrace a few of them on a regular basis. I mean, I'm not going to say I speak several different languages, but let's just say there's a couple languages I can hold conversations in. I'm an Italian. I'm half Italian. I have to work at my Italian conversation, but I can do it. I can do it in French. I can do it in German. I can used to be able to do it in Japanese, but I can do it in Spanish as well. Spanish is my favorite language because it's so much easier. It's easier than Italian because Italian, they got to have their spins. So does the French. I mean, anyway, what I'm seeing is let's talk about the wars that the United States has been involved in just since the Second World War. Most people think it was about to stop communism or it was to stop doing this. No, not at all. Drugs, money, oil, and power. Follow the money. Hey, U-Haul. Thank you for being here, buddy. It's good to see you. Anyway, the point I'm making here is most folks aren't taught to think for themselves. They just believe what they see on their television. That's gospel. That's the truth. Or they go pick up what they do from their groups in Facebook or Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. Very good, Robert. The military, and who warned us about the military industrial complex? It was a friend of my dad's, my adopted father, Dwight D. Eisenhower. See, my adopted father was, let's just say, very well connected. Anyway, they want us ignorant. They don't want us to see the truth. They don't want us to see what's going on, because as long as we are in the dark, we don't know the truth, the more money they can get from us, the more tax dollars they can say, oh, it's this or it's that reason. We're in here to stop. Well, let's use Iraq as an example. We went in there because there was supposed to be weapons of mass destruction. No, it was to settle a score. Oil, power of a region, control of a region. That's what it's always been. Afghanistan? It wasn't about terrorism. It was about another commodity. Just like they were getting out of the Golden Triangle during Vietnam. Yeah, that's about all. There were CIA organizations that were, let's just say, all they were involved in was the drug trade. There's not a lot. There's a lot. Well, that's just it, Robert. The whole point I'm saying is they want you to have your eyes closed. That's the idea of mainstream media. I've been in mainstream media. They kept telling me, you can't tell them that. You can't. I'd find a story that uncovered. I uncovered corruption on Reagan once, and I was going to break this story on CNN. Oh no. Ted Turner himself said, no, I'm not going to broadcast. I'm not going to publish that. I won't let you. Okay. Good call, Douglas. I'm not going to say it. I'll let you. I don't want to get myself into any liability thing because you can't get blood from a stone. I'm broke. I can't afford to lose anything else I have. I mean, all I have is this. It's not a whole lot. Anyway, you get where I'm going with all of this. It's all about. I outlaw. It doesn't matter who's the president. They're nothing more than a marionette, a puppet. Yep, I used to be middle class myself, Robert. Until I aggravated the wrong politician. Let's just put it that way. I was related to him, and I wasn't going to dance to his tune. So he wrecked me. He thinks. He's gone. I'm still here. I'm not scared either, Joe Glasses. I'm just careful. Anyway, the whole point of all of this is the stories I plan on bringing you. Wingspan put up the link earlier for my news channel. One of the stories I'm working on is how the public schools and our public higher education, our colleges, actually got most of the funding. Follow the money. See, a lot of mainstream media forget the 7 principles of journalism. who, what, when, where, why, how, and then they inject their opinion. And they have to separate that last one from the rest of it. You have to make sure you draw a fine line between your opinion and the news. Exactly. Palantir, back when I was in high school, we had an old saying about they always had these nuclear bomb drills. See, I'm a child of the '60s, right? I grew up in the mid '60s, so they still had these bomb drills, and you had to duck under your desk. Because one of our one of our biggest jokes is, no, don't crawl under your desk, just bend over and kiss your two cheeks goodbye. Yeah, Palantir is a very scary. Their first and only financial contributor and customer for Palantir was the CIA, then the NSA. What are they doing? They're surveilling us. I bumped something. Sorry, guys. And yes, that scares the hell out of me. I mean, well, let's look at this. Yeah, he was a part of the PayPal mafia with Musk and yeah, his name is Peter Thiel. You're right. Hey, Matt. Thank you for being here, buddy. Now, before I get too much farther into this, and Matt's finally joined me because Matt will know exactly who I'm talking about. I also want to say goodbye to some very dear friends of mine. Without them, I probably wouldn't be here. They helped me through my cancer treatment last year. I was on the ragged edge. They made sure I was fed. They made sure I made it to my appointments. They made sure I got to where I was going. They're moving this weekend out of this state. I know they're listening. I know you're here, Debbie. Thank you again for everything you've done for me. You and Roy will always, always, always have a place in my heart. Hey, Ajot, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Wow, we got a few people in here tonight. I didn't expect this, but I wanted to get these messages out of the way while I was still thinking about it. Somebody just reminded me over here in the window. These are stories I'm covering on my news channel, but I am waiting for my news channel. I want to have licensing. I want to have all my ducks in a row before I unveil anything, before I publish anything. I mean, I could publish it right here, but there's licensing issues I'll be worried about at the time. This is my personal channel. I don't want to jeopardize this channel. That's a gamble. Whenever you start a business, it's always a gamble. Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you putting all of this out here. But anyway, I guess the point I'm trying to make is Google's cheap and free for the most part. Yeah, you got to deal with ads and all kinds of other stuff, and the tracking cookies and all your other security concerns, but you should be able to deal with that on your own now. They make software for that, VPNs and stuff like that. But the point I'm making, I guess, is it's easy to do your own research. It's easy to find your own news. Yeah, you can use mainstream as a, how you shall you say, as a, it gives you the overall. But if you don't focus on what they're trying to make you see, instead of looking at the story yourself, because you can investigate a story yourself now. You don't have to leave your house. You can do it all right here on the internet. You can do it all right here. And a lot of people just don't want to take the time. I get it. People have busy lives. I've been a busy person most of my life too. Um, and yeah and no. What's the channel? There's many channels you can find. Um, let's go over a few here. I mean, I like a lot of ABC's coverage, but they're very left. NBC is left. CBS is trying to stay in the middle. Hold on a second here. What a time for one of those. Yes, I was about to say that, Matt. Who do you choose? AZ or Seattle? Okay, I get it. Sorry, I'm only catching bits and pieces of the chat. I'm trying to pay attention to all of it. Hold on a second here, guys. Okay. Yeah, well, we got a bet then, Matt. I'm always going to be a Seattle fan. That new quarterback's doing pretty good. Yeah, we bailed them out, Jugglasses. That's exactly right. I'm having a bit of an asthma attack right at the moment, so please hang on, bear with me a moment. I don't watch sports much either. I do have my favorite teams, but I don't focus on watching all their games. Yeah, I know. San Francisco's hot this year. Hold on. Great. Even my dog's going to get into the action here. It's okay. It's just, I never watch television. I never watch television. I might watch television for two things: this football game tonight or the World Series. I'm not watching the World Series anymore, so that's about all I would watch television for. Hello, Daisy May. Thank you for being here. Sorry. Um, For the most part, it is, just like everything else is rigged. I mean, the justice system is rigged, the school system is rigged, the entertainment industry is rigged. It's rigged for who? Not us. It's like like Brian from Here's the Deals channel. It's a big club, and we are not in it. We're not in it, not at all. I mean, yeah, I agree. Nobody's worth that kind of money unless they're going out and earning it for themselves the right way instead of stealing it from people. You know, and I'm losing this one from coughing my head off. It's all right. I'll just go with the right ear. So, anyway, back to where I was at, and back to my rant. My little asthma attack here kind of had. I have COPD. Once in a while, a little dust particle or something like that will set me off, and I'll lose it. Yeah, I'm I agree with George Carlin. I grew up listening to George Carlin. The seven things you can't say on broadcast television. He got arrested for that. Just how shall we call it hypocritical the system really is. It is a hypocritical system. Well, I'm about 25 years older than you, Robert. So I mean, yeah, nobody's worth that kind of money for playing a game. I enjoy sports, participating. I played a lot of sports when I was growing up. I love baseball in particular, but I can't throw the ball. All I can do is swing a bat. I can't throw the ball at all because both shoulders are wasted. I'm going to have to go back through that one. Anyway, yeah, again, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it. Uh, I can't even play a video game anymore, Robert. I mean, it's not it's not something that interests me. Plus, my eyes won't let me play for very long anyway. Um, I'm getting old. No, I'm not getting anything. You're right. I am old. I'm already there. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all being here tonight. I just, these things have been bugging me all afternoon for the last couple of days. What am I going to talk about? Let's talk about what really is on my mind. Don't buy into the two-party system. Don't buy into that paradigm. It's all a lie. Think for yourself. Do your research. There's somebody running for an office near you for, say, city council, or your district attorney, or any of those. Look at your local races. Do your research on that person. Do your research on these candidates. Get it all in the right. Get it all into the right perspective. Do your own research. Do your own thinking. I was taught to do that the first time I voted. I voted for someone I liked. That was the biggest mistake I could have ever made. I did that a few times. Think for yourself, people. And I know most of you folks do. Matt, let me know who won the game, would you? Guys, have a great night. Thank you all for being here. I will see you again in 1 week. God bless and take care.